Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Wait a minute. Lydia Washington is a new member? How is that possible? Anyway, I'll take it. Um, let's see. Oh, and Lydia Washington was here first. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, Church Nellie. Yes, I got a message that Church Nellie was back in the hospital again. So, you guys, make sure you're sending your prayers for Church Nellie. Church Nellie is such an important part of the Sussex squad. Um, so we need her back healthy and you know in the trenches with us as soon as possible. But or at least at the very least, take a little time away from the Sussex squad and convalesce, recuperate. Um, get your game face back on. We'll be here. Judy Matasset, thank you for being here. Carmen's Place, Educate You Too. Uh, Jedi Lady, thank you very much. Francilia Mosley, excellent. Thank you for being here. Lady Metatrons, we still got to talk, you and I. Vivian Green, Anastasia's here. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through, acknowledging the new member, of course. All right. And let's see, Black Queen is here, Brenda Gray, Sussex Rising, always has, always has. All right. Susie Q, Lola Love, Carol Lunn. Okay. Well, Eulebia is here, John Jenkins, Kanitha Ash, very cool. Michelle Breathwaite. All right. Okay. Now, I have something in my mailbox from Amazon. So if you sent me something and you're wondering if it got there, if you got a notification that it arrived today, it is there. So I don't know, probably the weekend I'll go and pick it up because I'm kind of far away from it. So when I'm in that area again, I will definitely go and retrieve it. Thank you so much. And also the person that sent the other thing that I got the other day, part of which were some really cool luggage tags. I love those. I seen them before, and anyway, they have the silhouette of a 747, and they're metal, and they have like a cable that not just a plastic or buckle or something like that. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's so nice. It's going to make my luggage look very cheap. But thank you for that. Okay. Well, let me see here. All right. I guess I'll just get to the slides then, shall we? So take a look here. Notice the date, June the 8th, 2020. Prince Harry alleges that William and Kate's communication secretary leaked info about the Sussexes. Now, what's different, of course, among other things, is that I have been waiting the longest for a photograph of either Christian Jones or perhaps Jason Knopf, either one of those two co-conspirators allegedly. I have been waiting to see either of those two in the same space with Dan Wooten. Why is that important? It just is. It just is. What is more compelling than knowing that two people surely have occupied the same space, or three people, or four people? That's important to me. I wanted to make sure that there was some type of evidence, especially if it's not possible to get any phone or, I guess, email records or anything like that, but just to have something to prove that there is a connection there. Now, to be fair, it does not imply that anything inappropriate has taken place. It just is, okay? It does not imply that anything inappropriate has taken place. I have no proof individually. I don't have any proof or any evidence that there was any conflicts of interest, that anybody received £4,000 payment. Okay, somebody got £4,000 payment, but I don't have the evidence, but other people do. Okay, and that's just as good. That Byline Investigate was willing to go out on the limb to say that point A to point B, that you can draw a line between this person, and such event. So yeah, that's what happened. That's the truth as they know it. And of course, the leaks. Nanny, what is that? Mick 3? If you get the wordplay there, a Nanny McPhee. Well, here is Nanny McThree, because Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's gets through 3 nannies in 6 weeks for baby Archie. Now that I remember when that was leaked. And it's by itself. So what? They weren't comfortable with this one or that one. But the problem is, at a time when, let's say, one of the tabloids has written 50 articles in 24 hours, or something to the equivalent of that, during that period of time when the Sussexes seemed to be under siege from so many different directions, the fact that this story would come out to make it seem like they are just indecisive and that they don't get along with anyone. That is what the implication is, right? And then, of course, we're ORF again. Prince Harry and Meghan, Canada, of course, off again, but Meghan, Canada for 2020, and ditched the HRH titles after feeling, what is that? Something by the Royals. But okay, again, another one of the leaks. Top secret. Meghan Markle pals are bookies' favorite. Wait a minute. Yeah, favorites to be to be Archie's godparents. And of course, the Sussexes did not want to reveal the identity of Archie's godparents because, of course, with all the leaks that have been going on and everything at that time that was going on, they did not want to put that pressure on another couple, or whatever it could have been. I guess godparents are usually husband. Another couple. I'm sorry, I'm getting myself confused here, but they didn't want to put that pressure on another couple, especially unnecessary pressure from the tabloids. Then all of a sudden, that person is investigated by the protection racket known as the British tabloid media. So these headlines make so much more sense now that we know the source of some of the leaks, or the alleged source of some of the leaks. And of course, Dan Wooten was working for The Sun, which is a Murdoch paper, which, of course, when you consider the relation between the royal family and the Murdoch empire, then it just all makes sense. And that's not even including Lord Nappyhead's paper, which is owned by a racially ambiguous owner who inherited the paper from his father. And anyway, the paper is said to have had links with the likes of Adolf Hitler and so on and so forth. But yeah, they're trouble with a capital T or a capital Nappy. But yeah, the racially ambiguous Lord Nappyhead owns that paper. And of course, as the Duchess put it, it is a daily fail. So it's all coming together. Um, and I couldn't be more delighted. It's been really interesting listening to the conversations the past couple of days because um, it just goes to show it just goes to show that a lot of the pressure from the so-called a sausage squad has definitely made a difference. Things are changing. Something is shifting. We're not there yet. We need to remain vigilant. We're certainly not there yet, but um, there are some changes afoot. There are different. There seems to be a different type of energy out there, and one of the things that well, I guess I've noticed it, but I just did not name it. I did not claim it. I did not acknowledge it, but you don't see as many of the so called royal experts on American TV. When there's a big event, they have plenty to say, but they don't seem to be riding that bash Harry and Meghan train. Now, of course, there's still, like the Today Show, they always have to have some snarky, sly comment at the end of everything. I totally have given up on The View, but those types of snips or snipes or whatever, they're fewer and far in between compared to the way it was before. Um, Harry and Meghan moving on from this is a good idea because even though they have every right to name and shame all of the people involved in these problems that they've had with the institution, is holding them back, or it runs the risk of holding them back. And they really have to move forward. Now, that being said, believe me, when it's time to call someone out, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But they have been very strategic thus far, and they will continue to be strategic. It's been just enough. There's been a few hiccups. There's been a few hiccups where they have been a bit, shall we say, um, bewildered by the circumstances. And the problem is, it's not Harry and Meghan, but it's the overwhelming response that the British tabloid media has to anything and everything that the Sussexes say in response to the mistreatment they received. They tend to own the message, the tabloid media. They have the resources. They have plenty soldiers, on the battlefield to guide the conversation into a different direction. But, but there is TikTok. There's YouTube. There is the social media app formerly known as the Twitter. There's those different things, and of course, the young people, the younger people that have taken up this fight for the Sussexes in different areas. That has definitely made a difference. So I can't take anything away from that. They have proven themselves incredibly attuned to everything that's going on, and they have been given a lot of pushback. And that, I believe, is something that we should all support. I know a lot of people are not on the TikTok or the Twitter or anything like that, but where you can support, please do, just by sharing anything that's positive for the Sussexes. Because, like I said, the enemy, I'll just call them the enemy. They have a lot of resources, and so whatever we can do to respond is literally by word of mouth. Um, is an individual pushback. We don't have the resources to amplify in a way that the tabloids can, or the way that the institution is able to. But in spite of that, we should all be very proud of ourselves with the progress that we've made, not just for the Sussexes, but just for anyone who has been the target of the tabloid media. They have too much power. They have way too much power, and you have to be very patient and very deliberate to combat that. So thank you everyone for your participation. It has gone a long way. Other than that, it has been raining off and on all day, and it is wreaking havoc with my friend Arthur. Arthritis. Oh man, that Arthur just won't let me go. Let me go. Get thee behind me, arthritis. So if you hear any popping noises or hear anything that sounds like machinery grinding or something like that, it's just my joints. Now, in plain sight, the picture the palace probe missed. In 2020, Simon Cass, today the embattled head of the British Civil Service, was tasked to investigate payments from Dan Wooten and the Sun to the partner of royal press officer, allegedly for information about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. He found there was no evidence of wrongdoing. Are we surprised? And that the three were not friends. Again, this is why these photos are so important. Byline Times has found new evidence, Tom Latcham and Dan Evans reports. That is why this is so important. There they are, together, in the same space, drinks in hand. I would say there must be some type of connection there. Now, the depths of those connections, I don't know, but hiding in plain sight, what kind of investigation could have possibly taken place if you somehow missed this? Was there an investigation? It's just like the cash for honors and all this stuff with Charles III. Was there an investigation? So there is Christian Jones, Dan Wooten, and I don't know whose face that is next to Christian Jones. I would imagine, given the intimacy of the moment, that perhaps it's a partner, perhaps it's a colleague. I don't know. But whoever it is, I think that person may be part of this story, but for now, they're not identifying that person. So, okay, be that as it may. And there's, what is it, 2 more of these articles coming out. So this may be the biggest of them, or they all may be about the same size. But bravo to the team at Byline Investigates. This is not just about Harry and Meghan. This is about the access to some very powerful individuals that find themselves in these halls of power. The Simon cases, the Christian Joneses, and the Jason Knopfses. They are young and ambitious, and they are in these spaces with some very powerful people who have the ability to enact laws and investigate investigate some very questionable, dodgy situations like this. Right? In 2020, Simon Case, today the embattled head of the British Civil Service, was tasked to investigate payments. It sounds like Cressida Dix when she was tasked to investigate Charles III. To later, what? Was she honored after that when she said there was no there or whatever? And what about the investigation of the Duke of York? How far did that not go? That's why this is important, because if this is corruption, then this is an example of industrial scale corruption using the crown, using the proximity to the royal family to curry favor and to influence policy. So it does matter. It's not just about Harry and Meghan. This is about a system that is surely broken, a system that has been unaccountable for far too long. A protection racket. That's what I'm calling it. So someone posted this photo earlier, and they said exactly what is it? What is it that Christian Jones? What secrets does he have about William that seems to give him so much influence? Is it pulled pork sandwiches? Is it the Rose Garden? What is it? Where does this influence come from? Is it that maybe they're both fans of the television show Suits, right? William was a fan of Suits. Maybe Christian is a fan as well. Maybe that's what it is. Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. A lot is going to come out. I hope. I pray. A lot is going to come out. And so much of this stuff is going to make so much sense. But the campaign against the Sussexes, the scope of it, the persistent nature of the campaign against Harry and Meghan, to discredit them, to put them in danger. They've received threats from the tabloid media. There must be a greater reason for it, or maybe, as that photo said, in plain sight. Maybe it's just as simple as that. So, if you take a look here on the left, multiple tabloids are claiming Prince William and Rose Hanbury alleged affair is far from over. It seems as though the Prince William and Rose Hanbury affair scandal is back in the spotlight, with some outlets claiming is far from over, but we're going to break down everything. Spanish tabloid site Marca.com and Polish site is that Insane News, Essay News, Essay News, Insane, have resurfaced the alleged affair. So, again, it is alleged. We don't know anything for sure. Yes, I've seen that. Teresa Bivens, I've seen that photo. Yeah, that girl looks just like William. Look just like him, as they say in the South. Look just like him, just like him, just like him, just like him. That's just like William. And then, of course, it was Dan Wooten who broke the story, or was he the first? I'm trying to recall if he was the first. But anyway, Kate Middleton has fallout with glamorous best friend and tells Prince William to phase her out. The Duchess of Cambridge views Rose Hanbury as a rural rival. And the fallout is much worse than first thought. So that was back in March of 2019. Back in March of 2019. Now, it has been alleged that because Dan Wooten has a strong dislike for the Prince of Wales, then the Duke of Cambridge, that he was given something else to bite on, in exchange for what? I don't know, but that's what's been alleged, is that he wanted to have some fun. He was going to use the story about Rose like a big dog in a chew toy. He was going to use it. And then, of course, he was allegedly told to switch to going after the Sussexes. And of course, the only thing that we can think of in between that time was William receiving a substantial settlement from a tabloid newspaper, right? He received a substantial settlement. And also, at the time, you had the likes of Knopf and Jones. And let's see, when did Simon Case leave? Well, anyway, you've had the likes of them within the household staff or the staff at Kensington Palace. And the leaks, the relentless leaking over and over again, even while the Duchess of Sussex was heavily pregnant. And in the Frogmore Cottage, and an unseen for months, that long period of time where she was only seen twice. And yet there was one leak after the other. Everything from Carper bathtubs to the flat out lie that Doria was moving to the Frogmore Cottage. There were just one lie after the next, relentless lies, and of course, leaks, plenty leaks. Willie leaks. And of course, at a certain point, Dan Wooten decided that he had to respond because, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the Sussex Squad, because all along, people were calling out the tabloid media, calling out the Sun, the Daily Fail, and all the rest of the rags, the Mirror, the Express. People were calling them out. And with good reason calling them out. Because the whole entire time that, okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to cue up a, oh, sorry about that. I'm trying to cue up my soundbite. And I know, I know I have played this over and over again, but we have to remember there's a lot of new people in the Sussex Squad. And well, for that reason, we have to. So make sure that everybody knows what's going on here. So if from time to time we repeat any information, it's just that we want to make sure that we give context to some of the things that we're saying. So
that much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press. That much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press. That much of the negativity towards the couple is
the royal family and the staff of the royal family. I mean, you literally heard it from Dan Wooten's mouth. A mouth where we can't even been, we don't know where that mouth has been. Let me just say that. We have no idea where that mouth has been. But wherever that mouth has been, wherever his mouth has been, we've heard it from his mouth. Dan Wooten's mouth, where he says it's much easier to blame anything uncomfortable on racism rather than address the fact that much of the negativity toward them is coming from within the royal family. And the staff of the royal family. So whoever this person is that tweeted that, you know, he did tweet the video, but he left out that part about the staff of the royal family, the staff. We've heard that from Dan Wooten's mouth wherever it's been. So I don't like to think about it. um, so it's been laid bare. It has been laid bare. I, I don't know how many times I've watched that video, and it makes so much more sense today, if that's at all possible, than it made a year ago. Let's see. Charlene Bates, the royal family is slowly burning down. The light is coming through. Yes, they are shining the light on the misdeeds of that institution. Thank you so much, Charlene. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. But yes, they are shining the light upon them. They are they are naked in front of the world, and we see them for who they are. The reptilian, inbred vertebrates, alien. Oh, I shouldn't say that because I don't want to humanize them too much. But yeah, we see see them for who they are. And of course, thank you to the Sussex Squad. The Sussex Squad Detective Agency has been working overtime, pulling out all kind of receipts. Right here, Prince Harry versus the British Mafia Press. Well, I said it was a protection racket, and there you have these publishing titans that they are going up against. And one of the things that we really should be able to count on, but so far we're unable to count on, is that there would be a vigorous investigation by some American news group. But because they are all so like-minded, because most of the legacy media in the United, not most, I'm really all of it, the legacy media is owned by a bunch of wealthy white men who have no vested interest in going up against a Rupert Murdoch. They are in cahoots, not competition. They are in cahoots. We are going through a very tumultuous period in the geopolitical landscape right now with everything that's going on in the Middle East. And it's more important that you pay attention to what's being omitted from the news as opposed to what they actually share, because there is a disaster going on of the likes of which we haven't seen for quite some time, and yet they don't tell you the whole story. They're not giving you the full story, and this is playing out in the plain light of day. And the only reason why they don't have as much cooperation from people, as much support, is because of the social media, the great equalizer. And that is why all of these news agencies are trying to get into these spaces, no matter how minuscule. Just today, I watched a kid share an email he received saying that if you talk about things the way that we want you to, if you mention the things, the talking points that we give you, we'll give you all the tools you need. We'll give you $5,000. All you have to do is ignore what you know to be true and tell our truth. And of course, he called them out on it and said he would never do that. Too many people are dying for that. So he's just not going to do it. So that is the way the media works. So if you are in these spaces with these legacy medias, stop it. I used to watch all of the political stuff every day, hoping that something was going to be different, and it never was. They would string me along just like everybody else. And the next day I turn it on and I listen to them banter back and forth and make all of these statements about what this person can do and what they think. And the whole time I'm listening to them selling all this false hope that this candidate can actually make it if they can just do this and just do that. And of course, they string you along. They're not going to tell you, well, statistically, it's not likely to happen. They're not going to say that. They string you along. That's abuse. You got to tune them out. Black Queen says, Baron, please say. Dan Wooten. Yes. Yeah, that was the statement that Dan Wooten made about guest editing a magazine. And according to Dan Wooten, when Meghan did a guest edit of the Vogue, the British Vogue, Dan Wooten was outraged because, according to Dan Wooten, royals do not guest edit magazines. Celebrities guest edit magazines. And he was just like, he's trying to sound posh, right? He's trying to cover up his accent from New Zealand. And he got so excited that he was literally frothing at the mouth. Royals don't guest edit editing. Celebrities guest edit editing. And it was just like he was all animated and excitement. Royals don't guest edit editing. Celebrities guest edit editing. And I was just like, is he okay? I thought he was having a fit. I'm like, somebody put a spoon on his tongue or something. This guy is having a fit. And the thing is, what turns out is that it was wrong. As a matter of fact, royals had guessed it. So that was inaccurate. And we all know better. I'm trying to see if I can find that him saying that guest edit magazines. Oh my God, that was hilarious. Guest edit magazine. As if I'm going to find something like that, but I it's got to be there. It's got to be there. Oh, okay. Is this it? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But let me try. Let me put some sound to it.
I have done for some years, and I would say that when it comes to criticism of members of the royal family, that I have been absolutely fair. I've criticized all of them, but Prince Harry this week moved to make any type of criticism of what I would describe as the highly controversial House of Sussex immune.
Now, this is from 4 years ago, so yeah, I don't. Well, let me see.
Future attacks by the media. So, as part of his wife Meghan's ill-advised and highly political guest editor Vogue September issue, the Duke promoted this idea of so-called unconscious bias leading to racism.
I forgot. I definitely forgot about the fact that it wasn't just that Meghan did a guest edit of the Vogue magazine. The September issue is always the most important issue of the year.
Doesn't consider themselves to be racist for some years now by us on text is entirely.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes long, so I'm gonna have to skip over this one.
Type of rubbish.
But this was when Dan Wooten was on Talk TV, doing the radio thing on the Talk TV. But yeah, so gosh, I wish I could find that. But yeah, that's 20 minutes long. But thank you so much for reminding me about that, Black Queen. I needed a good laugh today. Brown girl, let's see, member for 18 months. Thank you so much for that. Royals don't guess that. Celebrities get that. He was all like twisting in the chair when he said that. You get me? You get me? But it wasn't while I remember he was sitting in the chair speaking to someone. It wasn't him sitting on the thing by himself like that. So, oh man, let me see. Benny Blair says some outlets in the UK are saying head office told them to put Byline Times with the woman's magazine and not with the newspaper. Uh, well, as if that's going to work. But I can imagine that they want to try to hide it there because they definitely don't want people to, they don't want men, they don't want white men in those, well off or poor. They don't want them seeing um, how the royal family operates or how the British media operates. So but you got to see the rollout. Now, we're most of us are not in London, and for those of you that are in London, you're very lucky. It's a great city. London is one of the best cities in the world. It really is. Um, there's a lot to do. You don't really want for anything when it comes to culture and food and art and such. You'll find it in London. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it in London. Um, oh, by the way, Harry's making the same mistake as Diana, and I fear he'll come to regret it just like his mother did. I mean, that to me looks like an implied threat, right? And this goes to show the unhinged response they had to the Oprah Winfrey interview. It's amazing that they say that so easily. In a lot of circles, that sounds like a threat. It reads like a threat. But she did not hesitate to say what a lot of the people in the same role, a lot of what they're saying to each other. She said the quiet part out loud. That is water cooler talk. No, not with the tabloid media because they are part of that racket. So I decided to turn this into a much bigger. I kind of added a couple of more things to it so that it takes up the entire screen just to celebrate the Byline Investigate. So that is what was on the newsstands today. This is what they're trying to hide amongst the women's magazines, the yoga and fitness and recipes, right? But this is the actual rollout. I decided to screen grab a few of these to share with you. These are people that went on Twitter today celebrating the new Byline print edition. They have a truck running around London. And if you want to know what can you do with a billboard on a truck riding around London, well, isn't that how Brexit happened? They had a bus riding around saying that every day the what is it? The NHS was losing 350 million pounds a day because of the migration or whatever that thing said. But they used that as a way to influence the outcome of the referendum vote. And of course, Brexit happened. So that campaign on the back of a truck is probably just as powerful as anything else could be. I mean, people are going to wonder, what is this byline and where can I get it? And they'll see it on their newsstands. They'll find people talking about it. So it's not, of course, as big as the Brexit campaign, but still, it is. And look at them. They are very bold to roll right past Parliament, right past the, what is it, the Palace of Westminster, right past the Victorian Tower. What is it? No, I'm sorry, the Elizabeth Tower. Is that what they call it? Big Ben. Yeah, that's a bold move. That's a gangster move. But it doesn't stop there. I mean, that I don't know how many of those trucks they have, but there it is. This is someone sitting at their kitchen table. There's someone took a picture at the newsstand, right? So it's getting into the hands of everyday people. It's getting into the hands of the very well-paid professionals and the common everyday folk. And I don't know who she is, but I just grabbed. But there you go. There they are, right outside. I wonder if that is a different. I'm pretty sure that's not Byline's office. I think is that the Times. I don't know whose news office that is, but gosh, that's funny. They have the truck parked outside. If you guys know whose office that is, if it's the Sun or whoever, please let me know in the comments. But that is fun. And there you go. They here, let me see. What do they have it next to hello? Um, well, I mean, TV guide, TV choice. Not bad. I mean, I have not seen a proper newsstand in ages, but it is there. Maybe well, you know what? Mixed among all those other colors and graphics, it doesn't really jump out so much. But having William and his brother at the top, it helps. It helps. And there's someone checking out. Someone bought two of them from the W.H. Smith. Another newsstand photo there on the right. Yeah. Kind of hidden, right? I don't even see it on that one. But my point is, it's available. People are buying it, as you can see. And let's not forget, yesterday it is time for something new. For the first time this month, Byline Times is available in shops. The Mayor of London got his copy. Have you got yours? And the taxis, the other billboard, they have them on the taxis. They have taxis wrapped with the Byline Times. So when people hail those black cabs, they are going to see the byline. Yes, today's the day where we're launched Byline Times into 600 W.H. Smith stores, Waitrose, and 1,500 newsagents. Help keep us in the shops and buy one today. So there you go. Speaking of buy one today, I do hope that some of you all will go to the Byline Times and order it. It's like £3, I think, whatever it is. But with the exchange, I think I paid like $4.50 for it, something like that. So do order one, please. We want to help support this independent press. So please do order one. They also have subscriptions available. So if you fancy a subscription, you can get your online subscription. You can download it to your electronic device with their PDF, which is what I did. So I hope you will. And yes, there's a lot of places online where people have been posting it, but it should not prevent us from getting our own copy. Plus, you know how things are. There might be a situation like, remember with the, what was that magazine? The Tatler? Remember Catherine the Great? They actually took parts of that article out because the palace called and had them change it. Well, there's the possibility that we could see that happen with the bylines. I mean, I hope not, but there's always that possibility. But if you have your own copy, then of course it would be impossible. They're not going to just snatch it out of your computer, are they? So that's why I'm saying, if you can, buy a copy, please do, because we want to support that news group. They are doing the Lord's work. They are communing with the ancestors. Yes, the ancestors are calling forth the the um, the people at Byline. They're giving them a helping hand. That's the ancestors. And here's yet another example. Haha. How Murdoch broke up the royal family. World exclusive. I mean, it catches the eye. What the newsstand doesn't give you because of the collage of papers, I mean, that definitely will capture your notice. So I love the rollout. I love the rollout. Jennifer Clark, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for supporting Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, and all right, so yeah, that was the last one of the taxis. Let me see here. It's my birthday today, so I told my husband the subscription is one of my birthday gifts. Thank you so much for that, Marjorie Austin, and happy birthday to you, fellow Scorpio. You know what? We gotta dance this out. I have been missing some of the birthday dances, but we need Ivy. Hello, Ivy here. Come on, Ivy. Let's do this. Hello, Ivy here. Hello, Ivy. Today is Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor's birthday. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Church Nellie's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out. You know what? I have not come down from my high yet, as you know. All right, and thank you, TS, for the Cash App. Thank you very much for that. All right, so happy birthday again to Marjorie, and many happy returns of the day. So, I don't use one of those apps for the thumbnails. I just kind of piece together stuff as I can find it. And so when I was making the thumbnail for today, I looked at this. I said, now that is fun. This is like one of my favorites as of late. Is they had a Byline article about how Dan Wooten seems to be missing or vanished or whatever. So I decided to do the Dan Wooten pulling the rabbit out of the hat thumbnail for that particular video. So that was fun. Oh, I don't know why that just seems so appropriate for him, but lurking in some dark, suffocating space, waiting to emerge. Is it Maria Joseph? Is it Martin Branning? Or is it Dan Wooten? Well, we won't know until we pull it out of the hat. Now I wouldn't call this exactly trolling, but Omid Scobie says, I'm on vacation at the moment, but am a big fan of Byline Times, very much needed in this current climate. There's an entire section on this very story and a lot more in my book out in 4 weeks. So as you can see, Omid Scobie is reminding people that if you think this is juicy, wait until my book come out. And I've already made up my mind. I'm going to make sure that I get Omid's book. I'm definitely going to get it. I didn't get the Find Freedom book, but I'm going to get this one. So I hope it's worth all the hype. Omid Scobie. This is a big moment for Omid, and depending on how juicy the book is, that will really mean a lot for his future. So let me see. Oh, thank you so much for that. Or the Impossible. Byline Investigates subscription is £36 yearly. That's not a lot. £36. Yeah, so if anybody chooses to support them with a yearly subscription, that is one option that you can choose, is to get the entire yearly subscription. Good Thursday night or Friday morning to Baron, moderators, and my very fabulous squaddies. Hope you all had a wonderful day. Much love. Thank you, Shells Bells. Now, I didn't really comment on this because I wasn't sure what the heck it was about. But John Kerry causes stir after saying Americans feel sorry for Prince Harry. Did he say that, though? The U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate made the remark at the King's coronation. Author Lady Anne Glenconner told a literary told a literary festival. Oh, I guess she was at a literary festival and she told people. So only for I guess a day or two later, John Kerry comes out and denies it. So John Kerry denies commenting on Prince Harry, Meghan Markle's marriage at Coronation. Whether he did or didn't is unimportant. What matters is that someone who may have been in earshot may have misheard or is misrepresenting. I don't believe that this person just fabricated this, but let's consider the source, okay? John Kerry, U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate, allegedly shared his sympathies for Prince Harry while at King Charles III, May 6th coronation, Archie's birthday, when asked about the royal marriage to Meghan Markle. But he has now denied claims he commented on the couple's marriage while at the ceremony. Lady Glenconner, who was maid of honor during Queen Elizabeth II's 1953 coronation, relayed the diplomat's message while at a literary festival, the Barnes Book Fest. She said they chatted briefly at the ceremony in Westminster Abbey when she happened to sit next to him. I feel very sad for Harry because at the King's coronation, I happened to sit next to somebody called John Kerry, who ran for president. He wanted to be president, she recalls. So, okay. The socialite, who was also Princess Margaret's best friend, continued, and he came over with Mrs. Biden because he is into green things. And we were sitting with the King's friends, and I said to him, what do you think in America about Harry and Meghan? Okay, here we go. And he said, well, I feel very, very sorry for Harry. All right, now let's assume that perhaps he said that, right? So I think I can just leave it at that, she added. However, the State Department spokesman said that any implications that Secretary Kerry was commenting on the marriage would be wrong. The representative told Newsweek that the 79-year-old politician does not remember being asked that question. However, as a father in the public eye himself, he has nothing but empathy for people working through a family matter who all deserves privacy and compassion. So I am just going to say maybe he did say that. Maybe he did. But the part about it referring to his marriage, okay, they're at the coronation. Harry doesn't have a role at the coronation. Harry arrives, he sits by himself, or well, he's there by himself. He sits amongst his family. He's got a big giant Napoleon hat and feather in front of his face. Um, the bartender and Monopoly and all the rest of them were cool and everything. I think he even smiled or spoke to Napoleon's sidekick. Whatever the case may be, even if he did say that, I don't get where the reference has to be to the marriage. But isn't it just like someone within that royal circle to try and figure out if they can find something, anything, to disparage or to disgrace the Sussexes, anything to cast aspersions upon them, anything they could think of? You know, it's like they always got to get some American on the record. They want to get anybody on the record for that matter. You could be there to speak about climate change, global warming, the Panama Canal, whatever. But they got to get you on the record about Harry and Meghan, which just goes to show how much influence the Sussexes have, that people cannot gather and not have a conversation about them. They totally overshadowed the coronation. It was as much about Meghan not being there. It was as much about Harry's 28 hours in and out. It was as much about that as anything. And yet, they try to declare how irrelevant they are. How is that possible if you won't stop talking about them? So that Glenn Connor lady, who is an author, who was friends with Margaret, who was a maid of honor or whatever at the Queen's coronation, she has a stake in saying something like this. And then, of course, assuming that it has to be a comment on the Sussex marriage, that he feels sorry for Harry. John Kerry has been in the public eye since what, the 1970s? And if anybody doesn't know anything about John Kerry, he's a war hero. And his wife, who her fortune comes from the Heinz ketchup empire, was also vilified in the press when he was running for president. There were a lot of people that said some really nasty things about his wife. So if he did say that he felt sorry for Harry, let me assume that he knows exactly what it's like to have a very, I would say, powerful wife in her own right, Mrs. Heinz. Heinz Kerry. But yeah, people dumped all over her. They said some really nasty things about his wife. So yeah, maybe that's why he feels sorry, if indeed he said that. And this is what they have in common. From one soldier to another, this is what they have in common. At a very young age, John Kerry came out and protested the war in Vietnam. He actually received, I think it was a Purple Heart, was it? And he really regretted the experience of being in Vietnam. He really hated the idea that the United States was in Vietnam. I would say that John Kerry is one of the few people that could understand exactly what Harry is going through. He has been famous twice, if not three times as long as he's been alive. So, or should I say 75% of his life? That's what I'm trying to say. 75% of his life here on this earth, he has been famous. He has been a public figure. And when he married his wife, who, is in the 1%, then of course, as a presidential candidate, they began to attack his wife. So, and of course, they said some pretty nasty things about him. I mean, the Republicans were all over this guy. I mean, he's a lifelong Democrat. Oh yeah. Okay. So the woman is 97 and targeting Harry and Meghan. Kerry is an American statesman. Yeah, right. But I didn't see that. But yeah, I'm glad that someone else is speaking about it. But yeah, that's what I want to say about that is that John Kerry understands what it's like to have someone attacking your wife. But he's a war hero, and he would have made a wonderful president of these United States. Teresa Heinz Kerry, that's her name. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember when she got really sick that time. Wait, did she pass away? No. I think she's still alive. Let me see. I think she's still alive. I don't remember her dying. Let me see. Nah, she's still alive. She's 85 years old. She's 85 years old. Let me see what her net worth is. That was one of the comments that they made, was the fact that she has a pretty high net worth. Let me see. Now, of course, oh gosh, she is Portuguese-American philanthropist, heiress, and businesswoman who has a net worth of $750 million. $750 million. Yeah. Yeah. He married the He married well, didn't he? $750 million. Let me see. Married Teresa Heinz Kerry, an heir to the Heinz ketchup fortune, held $3 million worth of shares in the company last year. Okay. Kerry is married to a very wealthy woman. However, he wasn't exactly poor to their marriage, prior to their marriage. And right here it says, John Kerry hits the marriage jackpot when he met Teresa Heinz. You see what I mean? They were very rude. They were very rude about his wife and their relationship. So what are the chances that John Kerry was saying something negative about Meghan, understanding what it's like for someone to bash your wife? His wife has a university, what is that, with Waterstrand of Geneva School. Okay, that's where she graduated. Political party, she is a Democrat. Before 2003, she was a Republican. Look at there. Now, I tell you, I don't know what it is about John Kerry that was able to change her party affiliation, but I guess that was one of the things that they had against her, is that she was a Republican before she was a Democrat. But I'm telling you, John Kerry, and by the way, you guys, I think he's about 6'6", 6'5", or something like that. He's very tall. Um, it's something about him. He must have really whispered some sweet nothings in her ear, and all of a sudden, she has gone from a entitled white woman Republican to the Democrat Party. So that's that. uh, anyway, you go, John. You go, John Kerry, and change that woman into a Democrat. Next thing you know, she's going to be building Habitat for the Humanity homes. Oh, man. I just, I don't remember all the particulars, but I do remember that they were really trashing his wife. There were a lot of Democrats did not trust her. I believe that was part of it. Yeah, that's a lot of catch up. That's a lot of catch up. Anticipation. Remember those Heinz ketchup commercials? Anticipation. Anticipation is making me wait. It's making me wait. Oh, well. Dan Wooten, let's see, Kate may have forgiven Harry, but will William ever forgive Meghan? So that, of course, is one of the, wait a minute. Okay. All right. So that was back in 2021, April 2021. And then recently, as you know, they have started this stuff again. Kate's relationship with Prince Harry is so broken that she won't hold out an olive branch in time for Christmas, royal experts claim. Oh my God, I'm telling you, that is nauseating to even think about that. But Princess Kate won't offer olive branch. So let's see, that was the Daily Fail. This is the Express. So as you can see, they have been given their marching orders that the two papers both ran the same type of article, taking step back this Christmas as things have gone too far for the Fab Four. There hasn't been a Fab Four in years. Why are they implying that they're anyway? And of course, this is probably, you see right there. It says Bond said Kate has not only been hurt by the personal attacks on her, but those aimed at her husband and the wider royal family too. Really, she's upset because someone dared say something about her husband and the rest of the royal family. I would almost believe that, except they're saying that Kate felt something for someone, and that's very hard for me to recognize. Now, of course, we did reach out to Kensington Palace.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, on to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Oh, sorry about that. So you have to put it in context. When you have a family that is considered to be one of the best representations of white supremacy in the world, the British royal family, that is what people think of it. People associate the royal family with white supremacy. So someone marrying into that clan, I'm sorry, that family, if someone marries into that family and they are a woman of color, their mother has dreadlocks and a nose ring, they're of Nigerian ancestry, obviously a melanated woman, biracial, you marry into that family. And if you're planning to have a child and someone says, by the way, um, how dark do you think the baby is going to be? And how will that look for the family? Don't forget that part of what she said. And how will that look for the family? If someone, a senior royal, let's say if that person is William, if William says something like that, and of course, in the future, William will be the sovereign, right? Let's say if the Queen and Charles died a week apart, then all of a sudden, your unborn child would have a future where William, if he said that, would be the custodian, would be the legal custodian of that child. According to the British law, the sovereign, the heirs are the legal, obligation, possession, if you will, of the sovereign. I would feel very insecure if I was Rachel Meghan Markle, now Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. If someone from a family that's been associated with white supremacy, someone who is rather cruel by nature, was to even take an interest in my child, let alone ask me, what do you think about the child's skin tone? I would be alarmed by that. So the people who say, oh, well, I have a sister-in-law and she's black and so and she wasn't offended. I don't care about your sister-in-law that's black that wasn't offended. I don't care about your cousins that's black and was not offended. I care about Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, in that institution where, let me see, her mother-in-law died mysteriously in a tunnel in Paris, and we're just to assume that it had to do with someone being inebriated. We'll ignore the fact that the car was sideswiped by a Fiat. We will ignore the fact that there were people on motorcycles and flashing lights at the car. We're going to forget all about that, and we're just going to assume the talking points that Monsieur Henri was inebriated, right? We'll ignore the rest of that. Any family that has that kind of a history, among other things, like, I don't know, the transatlantic slave trade, I would be rather alarmed if any member of that family, especially someone in a position of power, was to take an interest in my child, my biracial child. I would be very, very alarmed by that. And I wouldn't care who thought I was overreacting. I wouldn't care who thought my feelings were misplaced. My feelings are my feelings, and that's all to it. I'm glad that those kids are away from that institution. As a matter of fact, when you consider that someone who is a future sovereign, a future king, the future king of England, and yet somehow, take a look over his left eye. You see that? Maybe you can see it better here. Take a look over his left eye. You see what that is? That's a number, I think it was a number 5 iron that knocked him unconscious, had him in the hospital as a child for a couple of days or however long it was. Now that is a personality changing injury. Now, if they couldn't protect him from a 5-iron or 9-iron, whatever it was, what are the chances that they would be able to protect those Sussex kids in that family? That's okay. When they said that Meghan chose her own doctor, her own OBGYN, I was thrilled. I was thrilled. It's not that I don't trust the institution. I don't want anybody to assume that I don't trust the royal family. I'm just saying I don't trust the royal family. I'm just saying I don't trust them. I don't. So yeah, if you're asking about my child's skin tone, then we got problems. There's going to be problems. You don't ask about my child's skin tone. You don't ask about my child. Not on those circumstances. Nope. Mm-mm. When that little voice says, get out. When that little voice says, get out, get out. I'm telling you, that has been a survival skill for African Americans for over 400 years. When that little voice says, get out, you get out. By the way, how dark do you think the baby's going to be, and how would that look for the family? Also, you should know that they're not going to have the title prince or princess. And we don't have any money for her. Do you think she can just go back to acting? Because we don't have any money for her. Yeah, I say leaving was the best course. Get out of there. Get out. I wouldn't trust those people. Sorry. I would not trust them. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, but not sorry. For that. Yeah, there you go. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I certainly don't. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I assume that that's what Donald Trump was saying when he ran out of the courtroom. Unfortunately, I could not find a video, but it was said that yesterday that Donald Trump stormed out of the courtroom. What is it about? What is it about entitled rich white men that whenever you confront them, the first thing they think of is running out of the room? What is it? Why do they run? Especially something as obese and lumbering and oddly shaped as Donald Trump. Why would you run anywhere? Why would you do that to people? Why run? But it was said that Donald Trump ran out of the courtroom. And when I heard that, I was just like, you know what? That reminds me of Piers Morgan. When the heat was on, what did he do? He set a land speed record for a mammal on 2 feet by running out of the studios at, is it ITV? He ran out of the studio because someone dared question his integrity. And that's the same thing that happened to Trump. Trump bust a move. He ran up out of there like a little spoiled brat. Um, so impactful was that situation with Piers Morgan that even people, an artist, made this painting and even put the time 6:38 a.m. That was the very moment they wanted to make sure that future generations will recall when Piers Morgan set a new land speed record for a mammal on 2 feet by running through the studio and running out of a job. He literally quit his job. Red Lady, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. Look at there. They even have the same silhouette. Overindulged, overserved, overbearing, just over it. Even from the side, you can't really tell one hog head from the other, except, you can, but yeah, there's something about those hog-headed, overindulged, entitled white men that one little disagreement and they play victim. They really do have a lot in common. They try to make everything about them, and they love playing the victim. The caucasity of it. They love playing the victim. Leg says, is it Yeti season? They have to catch their meals. That's right. They have to go foraging for food. Thank you so much for the super chat, Lex. And MR, thank you very much for the Cash App. But yeah, it's Yeti season, obviously. Who would think that something big and hairy and overfed like a Yeti could be so sensitive? I mean, look at that. Piers Morgan was moving so fast that the background was a blur. The whole backdrop is a blur. That's how fast he was moving. Let me see. Oh, did I put that one twice? I guess I did do it twice. And then right here, lots of people on here want me fired. I'm expressing my opinion on the Pinocchio princess. If you want to join them, there are various petitions still doing the rounds from the last few times you all tried and failed to have me fired for saying what I think. Well, didn't take much longer, did it? And of course, Piers Morgan started big mouthing as per usual and trying to get other people to co-sign with him. He was just so unhinged that day, very animated and agitated. And not only did he run out of the job, he really fired himself because ITV refused to take them back. And if that wasn't enough, then he gets his good girlfriend, the Osborne, Sharon Osborne. He gets her to quit the next day. She literally went in the studio and somebody tried to talk to her, and all of a sudden, don't you dare cry. Don't you dare cry. And then she was fired or quit or fired or both. I'm telling you, it takes the most, shall we say, I don't want to use the R word, but you know what their character is. It takes people like that have been accused. Okay, I could say that have been accused of being racist. It takes people that have been accused of being racist to be so sensitive to the point where if somebody just says, good morning, don't you dare cry. Girl, I just said good morning. Don't you dare cry. You better not cry. Meanwhile, the prosecutor, she, what's her name? I forgot her name, but anyway, when Donald Trump ran out of the courtroom, the district attorney, she just sat there like Mona Lisa with that half grin. She sat there looking like a very contemporary Mona Lisa. I mean, she really is sitting there like Mona Lisa with that half grin on her face. Oh, what pleasure it must have given her to see Donald Trump running out of that courtroom. I'm telling y'all, it's the ancestors. The ancestors are not having it this fall. Let's see. Reba Henderson says, two big lumbering, lying hypocrites. Pierce Morgan and Trump are cowards, and if confronted, they cannot take it. Weak. Absolutely weak. You got that right. Did not discuss. Not seeing her. What's that? Sharon did not discuss. Oh, yeah. You're right about that. With all of that that she was saying about Thomas Markle Sr. and stuff like that, she doesn't say the same stuff about her own family, which, is really like holding up a mirror. Thank you, Reba Henderson, for reminding us about that. So, yeah, there's Donald Trump and Leticia James. That's her name. Leticia James. There's Leticia James with that very, very coy smile on her face. I love it. Look at his face. Look at his face. Now you can tell that's somebody who is pissed. He is mad. I mean, just seething with anger. Hostile. Eleni says, good evening, morning. I'm just checking in. I was in the CME's session on Zoom, hypertension and mental health. Just finished and joining for my nightcap. Well, thank you so much, Lynn E. And I really appreciate you taking the time. And thank you for being a member. And thank you for the super chat. And AJ, thank you very much for the Cash App. And thank you both for watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, Leticia James holding the Orange Menace accountable. Sure is. Let me see here. Where's Rump getting all that fake hair? That is the world's longest comb over. That is the world's longest comb over. You could probably start pulling that. They said that he does it like whipped cream. Or like making cotton candy. You just started swirling it around and then it stacks up. But, when I saw this face, and anyway, I'm just going to show you. When I saw his face, he reminded me of Idella on Driving Miss Daisy. Remember, she was sitting there popping them peas, snapping those peas. And that camera had zoomed into her face. I was trying to find that scene where she was snapping them peas and that camera was in her face. And not to compare Donald Trump to an elderly black woman. But if you remember that scene, it was kind of funny. I was like, damn, they sure got the camera close. She was in the kitchen snapping them peas and making dinner for Daisy Worthen. Oh, my God, that was funny. And, of course, it took a different turn. Unfortunately, that was the last of Idella. All of a sudden, them peas went flying all over that kitchen. Idella, who had worked for the Worthens, all those years was gone. Oh, poor Idella. When I saw them peas hit that floor, I was just, oh well. Idella. That's how let's see, what's her name? Daisy? Miss Daisy. She say, and don't talk to Idella. She's got work to do. Idella. uh, and leave Idella alone. She's got work to do. Anyway, it's been a rough time. I love this. This is my new favorite photo right here. Leticia James channeling that Mona Lisa, the enigmatic smile. Is she smiling? Is she frowning? Is she happy? Is she sad? It's hard to tell, but I'm leaning toward pleased. I'm going to just say she's very pleased with herself. And he's mad. Woo, he mad. He just angry, hostile. Idella. Even the corner of his mouth is going down just like Idella. All he needs is some peas to snap. Oh, I tell you, what a wild imagination I have, right? So, on a happier note, Robert Edward Lee, James E. Lee, was a Confederate general during the American Civil War, towards the end of which he was appointed the overall commander of the Confederate States Army. He led the Army of Northern Virginia, the Confederacy's most powerful army, from 1862 until its surrender in 1865, earning a reputation as a skilled tactician. Well, Robert E. Lee, of course, died of a stroke sometime after that. I think it was like 1870. And around the 1920s and 30s, people seem to, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. People seem to believe that, do I have a picture that's out of order? I sure do. How did I do that again? People seem to believe that these Confederate monuments have been around for a long time, but they have not. Charlottesville, Robert E. Lee statue has met its end in a 2,250-degree furnace. The decisive Confederate monument, the focus of the deadly Unite the Right rally in 2017, was secretly melted down and will become a new piece of public art. So they have done away with Robert E. Lee's statue, and they are going to make another type of monument that won't have anything to do with the Confederacy, I can assure you. That corroded old Confederate statue is no more. But what's interesting, though, is that a lot of the people that are protesting the dismantling of some of those symbols of the past, they are not really as old as people think they are. Some of those things were even made as recently as the 1980s. And that's because this whole pride of the South and the South is reborn. And Robert E. Lee himself was against that. Lee believed countries that erased visible signs of civil war recovered from conflicts quicker, Horn said. He was worried that by keeping these symbols alive, it would keep the division alive, such as the rebel flag. Robert E. Lee did not want people saving those remnants of the Confederacy. He wanted it done away with. He spent the rest of his life making sure that the Union was reunited. Period. he understood what it was like. You know how they say elections have consequences? Well, when you're defeated in battle, there's consequences. So it's a good thing they're getting rid of it. And I say good riddance. They slowly and meticulously even sliced the face off and melted that down last. That's why it looks so eerie, the way the face is glowing, because they are in the process of melting it away. And gone is yet another symbol of the Civil War. Some people think that it should have gone to a museum, but just to settle things, they just got rid of it. So by the time you see it again, you won't even recognize it. And remember, Robert E. Lee was against that type of nostalgia himself. Sean says, any word on Angela, Harry's stalker? Aside from the fact that there's something living inside of her wig, I haven't heard anything. I hope that at some point she will be the focus of some investigation. But for now, I have not heard anything. Oh, by the way, thank you very much for the super chat. Now, let me go back to where I was. I got one thing out of order here. So I need to go back to this. Someone you should know. This is someone that you ought to know. Valerie L. Thompson, the inventor of the illusion. Is it illusion? Yes, the illusion transmitter, a device that creates optical illusions, wasn't just limited to her work at NASA. Interestingly, she also had an impact on early computer technologies. During her career, she managed the development of the first computer program to identify Halley's Comet in a sea of celestial objects for the Landsat program, a series of Earth-observing satellites. This wasn't part of her main job description, but showcased her diverse talents and curiosity. Her contributions to this project helped in a better understanding of the comet and demonstrated how her skills extended beyond her primary focus, thus adding a layer to the multifaceted nature of her scientific contribution. I like her. So I've never heard of her before today, but someone had shared some information. And so there you go, Valerie's illusion transmitter. This device is used to transmit real images and recreate them on a receiving end. It includes the concave mirror at the transmitting end and the concave mirror on the receiving end. So in other words, when the light, I think this is what it means, you know, they have to bend the light in order to focus, kind of like the way we do with our eyes. Well, I guess you have to turn that around or whatever to make it something that you can recognize. So apparently she had the idea to create such a thing. And yeah, so there you go. And check it out. She had one of the biggest afros I've ever seen on a scientist. I have never seen a scientist with an afro that big. So cheers to her for rocking the only, as we called it back in the day, natural, for rocking that huge afro. I mean to tell you, she had to be standing out in those places in NASA like nobody else. So cheers to her. Her early math success led to a successful scientific and technology career. Thomas has championed women in STEM profession. I guess that's science, technology, something. Anyway, she won various accolades, including the Goddard Space Flight Center Award of Merit. How about that? How about that? What an amazing career. Never heard of her before today. Interesting. Her Majesty. Let me wait. Let me do it. Let me do it right. Let me do it right. I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom and unemployment benefits, do hereby declare that I wonder if Miss Kerry would buy some of this art on the royal walks. Queen out. I doubt if Her Majesty wants to have a fundraiser from the great beyond, but thank you for communicating with Her Majesty the Queen. It's almost like she never left us. I'm getting pretty good at that voice, though. I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom and unemployment benefits, do hereby declare that I wonder if Miss Kerry would buy some of this art on the royal walks. Queen out. I tell you, I'm gonna just say for myself, I think that was one of my best. That was one of my best. 1992, a year which I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. An anus horribilis. Okay. Thank you for that, Sean. So, y'all, it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. Mysterious poison poster prowler strikes again as image of scantily clad model are stapled on trees in Middleton's sleepy English village with message attacking the family over failure of their party business. Really? Again? Well, let me refresh your tea. There's the old poster right there. Justice for Creditors, Bucklebury Party Pieces Holding Limited owes its creditors £2.5 million, including £131,435 to HMRC. I think y'all said that was the tax people, right? And government loans. Yes, folks, that's taxpayer money. Petition the insolvency service. The future king and in-laws screwing his creditors. Shameful. Cough up. Wow. Well, today they're talking about this. Along with a fans only Instagram, Molly Brash model, that's a parody, of course, cost of living crisis, hashtag, and Molly Brash model, hashtag cost of living crisis, 50% off. Who's ever doing this? Thank you. This is what I've turned to. The company I used to work for has now let me go. This is because Party Pieces Holdings Limited have not paid their creditors. Yes, that's right. The future king's in-laws think it's okay not to pay up. Shameful. So I hope this poster really shocks you. They need to think about what they've done and pay up. It's a cost of living crisis, and people are already struggling. Molly. Oh my God, that is the best so far. Somebody overnight threw those posters up. Oh, thank you. And I guess whoever the person is forced to turn to OnlyFans to make ends meet. And as someone who is new to OnlyFans, they are giving a 50% discount to new customers or new subscribers or whatever. So ah, woo, I love it. Signed, Molly. Signed, Molly. Boy, I tell you, those Middletons can't catch a break. They can't catch a break. Now, the odd thing is you can't really see it, but take a look at the picture of what is Mike Middleton? Take a look at the picture. Unfortunately, it's blocked, but he does have papers in his hand. I wonder if that isn't Michael Middleton running around in the middle of the night, stapling stuff on the trees. Oh, it's so cruel. I just love it. I know it is kind of bougie. Mystery poison poster prowler strikes again as image of scantily clad models are stapled to trees in the Middleton sleepy English village. Now, whoever wrote this, know they was reaching into their thesaurus to try to come up with something interesting. That sounds rather pompous and a bit bougie. But yeah, that's the wording that they chose. Yep, pay up. Oh, you think so? Or William? Maybe William is tired of subsidizing their lifestyle. Who knows? But then again, maybe it's someone in the village that got drunk. Somebody who doesn't seem to know how to you know, got a little inebriated and just went out there and just started stapling. Somebody looking for sympathy, no doubt. Yeah, instead of paying. Yeah, you know what? You know what? I'm not saying that this is the case, but it does beg the question that if you owe a lot of money and you don't want to spend your own money and you want to embarrass the royal family into paying off these debts, well, it does kind of make sense that you would run out in the middle of the night and put those posters up and then call your friends at the tabloids that were leaking information. Call your friends at the tabloid and tell them to come and take some pictures of it so that they can, get those posters. I mean, get that debt paid. Huh. Let me see. James Middleton is too busy to pull down posters today. He just had a child. Yeah, I did see that photo of him walking around. And you know what I noticed about that, Lydia? Did you notice that they put the price of the pram, which in the US is a baby stroller? They put the price of the baby buggy. It's a very high-end, expensive baby buggy. So if they put the price of the pram, when the tabloids are trying to destroy people, what do they always do? They mention the price of everything. And so mentioning the price of that baby buggy, well, that is a clear sign that the Middletons have fallen out of favor. Connie Bowman! Hey, Connie Bowman. Good morning to you. We started a little early today. A little early, not a lot early. So there you go. Party pieces Infamous, infamous. How embarrassing. Anyway, thank you all very much. Thank you to the Mod Squad for keeping this a safe space. Also, thank you to all of the members of Royal Sussex. That includes Patreon. And thank you for the very kind and thoughtful and generous contributions on the PayPal, the Cash App, and the Venmo. Also, thank you for whoever sent something to the wish list. I have something in my Amazon. I don't know what it is, but I'm assuming it's from the wish list. So thank you very much for that in advance. Thank you. Can't wait to see it. I will probably retrieve it this weekend. If not, perhaps Monday. Perhaps Monday I'll go get it, but eventually I will. But thank you all so much. Well, that's good. I'm glad that 2 hours in and out, because yesterday, gosh, I was on for 5 hours. That was way too much. Way too much. And at the end, I was kind of sleepy and just rambling about God knows what. So anyway, but thank you for the 1,000 of you that stayed late. Please don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to share. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Did I say describe? Subscribe, which is better than yesterday when I said prescribe. Well, I tell you, sometimes you can say too much, right? Prescribe. I don't have a problem. Prescribe to Royal Sussex. Subscribe. Listen to me. Subscribe. You know what I mean. Yes, subscribe to Royal Sussex. Which, speaking of subscriptions, let me see, how close are we? By the way, I did put the link to the Amazon wish list. Listen, nobody is obliged to order anything from that wish list. That is my own brand of fun. It's enjoyable. I love new stuff. And I'm not going to even beat around the bush. I love new stuff. I love the surprise of knowing that I have something from Amazon. I don't know what it is. So thank you all that have participated in the Royal Sussex wish list. It's for nobody but me. It's the only like self-centered indulgence I have in life. Otherwise, you guys know that I'm very big on supporting causes. Well, that is the one cause that I am indulging in, is that wish list. So, but again, no one is obliged to purchase anything on that wish list. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Subscribers don't buy stuff from the Royal Sussex wish list. I was trying to do my Dan Wooten impersonation, but that's not going to work. Yes, and Black Queen has reminded us, please pray for Church Nellie, who is in the hospital right now. Church Nellie, of course, is a very, very important member of the Royal Sussex team, the Duchess of Success, and so many other spaces where Church Nellie has been there defending our faves and keeping us on the right track. So, and also the laughs, on some of those days when I'm going through my slides and I see all of the emojis, the laughing emojis. I don't know what Church Nellie said, but you guys have your own thing going on, and that is very cool. It makes me rather jealous because I can't take the time to see everything, and I miss out on some good stuff. So, yeah, Church Nellie has been there for us in so many ways. So we have to be there for her and send our heartfelt prayers and well wishes. Thank you, Black Queen. Oh, thank you so much. Anastasia says, you all can pray the Archangel of Healing, Raphael. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so with that, I think we are done. I think that was my last slide, I think. Yes, yes. So the ancestors, Princess Diana, whoever is the guardian angels, the Lord above, all of which, whoever is lending protection to the Sussexes, keep it up. Thank you very much. I am very glad that, it doesn't take any of the pain away from the past, but what's very important is that the truth is out there. It is so important that there is a record, a permanent record, because someday they may try to convince the Sussex children that things weren't so bad, or you know what I mean. They may try to um, gaslight the world to believe that things were different or could have been different. If and they'll blame the Sussexes for the situation. Like, for instance, they just wanted their privacy, something I've never seen, a video or audio. I don't know of any place where Harry and Meghan said, we're leaving because we want our privacy. That is a talking point that has gone way, 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 way too far. And it's unfortunate because they have weaponized such an innocuous statement like that. They have weaponized it against them, and they haven't even said it. It's the same with the fossil fuels and private jets and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that Harry has ever tried to lecture anybody about the use of, but what Harry has mentioned is what it's doing to our mental health. And also, Harry has mentioned about the choices that we make. Travel List is about choice. It's for people that are aware and conscious of how much fossil fuels, carbon emissions that they're responsible for. And so Travel List gives you a chance to track your use of carbon emissions yourself. Now, how that translate into Harry lecturing people, I don't know, but leave it to the tabloid media. And also the Duchess of Sussex. I've never in any way heard her mention anything about the environment. And yet she has been branded as a woke, what is the other thing they say? Whatever it is. But she has been branded in the same way, even though we don't know what her position is about the environment. I don't know that she's ever said anything, but she's married to Harry, and that's good enough. So that is, to the tabloids, that's good enough to target her. So, but that's what we do here at the Sussex Squad. We get the truth out there. We set them straight. We call them out when they misrepresent. So, but yeah. So again, thank you all for being here, and thank you to our queens for those amazing kids. And of course, now I'm going to look for the last word of the day, something to close out today's Royal Sussex. Let me see what I can find. Hmm. Hmm. Not that one. Hmm. Oh, well, here's one. This is kind of funny. Now, I'm not going to say the S word, but I'll substitute. Four moods. My four moods. I'm too old for this crap. I'm too tired for this crap. I'm too sober for this crap. I don't have time for this crap. Yes, so that's the four moods right there. Too old, too tired, too sober, and don't have time for this crap. Again, substitute the S word. Okay, but something more serious than that. But I like that one though. Water is the most essential element of life because without water, you can't make coffee. Yeah, that is very deep. That is very powerful. Without water, you can't make coffee. It is the most essential thing in life. If I woke up and I couldn't put that coffee pot on, there would be trouble. But thanks to coffee, the world is a safer place to be. So yeah, that's not it. Let me find something different. Huh, okay, yeah, that's a little bit too deep. Okay, here we go. If someone sticks by your side through the worst times, they're the ones that deserve to be with you through the best times. I like that. Very good, very good. So yeah, once again, if someone sticks by your side through the worst times, they're the ones who deserve to be with you through your best times. Huh, okay. So there you go. Thank you very much, everyone. And see you tomorrow. Love you guys. And again, pray for Church Nellie.
Hold your tambourine. Explain to people what happened at church today.
I guess I didn't think I was playing it that hard, and I hit it one last time, and my hand went through it.
How it went through, Jared?
Y'all, I was looking around. I said, oh, yeah, we beg you well. He reigns forever. Don't let nobody see it. They said they caught me on the camera.
Oh, no what?
On the camera. It said my hand went through it, and I was just sitting there looking around trying to hold it down. I was embarrassed. The service was that good? It was that good. It was wonderful. Oh yeah, I'll be back. And I'm gonna come back for probably on the first Sunday when the adults sing.
Okay.
I want to hear the adults sing. Now the kids do good.
Okay.
The youth choir is great. It's
Yeah.
great. I would rather hear. I like old school. I like the
hymns.
I want the adult choir to sing.
Okay.
I ain't heard them sing yet.
Okay. When you
I'm
come
like,
on
yeah.
back. Jerry,
The world's youngest senior citizen. I just love that kid. He is so funny. He is literally the world's youngest senior citizen, the youngest old person on the planet. I've heard of old souls before, but that's really taking it to a new level when it comes to old soul. But let's see. Resemblance is uncanny. Yeah. That's an old soul. That is an old soul. And then at a certain point where he just kind of like he's sucking on his dentures or something. Surely this child does not have dentures, but it almost seems like he was you know how when what's his name? Clark Gable, he wore dentures and he used to suck on those dentures. I promise you, that it looks well. Let's see. It looks like that's what he did. Hold on.
Tambourine. Explain to people what happened at church today.
I guess I didn't think I was playing it that hard, and I hit it one last time, and my hand went through it.
How it went through, Jared?
Yeah, I was looking around. I said, I wasn't nobody see that. They said they caught me on the camera.
Oh, no what?
On the camera. My hand went through it, and I was just sitting there looking around, trying to hold it down. I was embarrassed.
Service was that good?
It was that good. It was wonderful. Oh yeah, I'll be back, and I'm gonna come back for probably on the first Sunday when the adults sing.
Okay.
I want to hear the adults.
Wait, did you see it? Okay, watch again now.
For probably on the first Sunday when the adults sing.
Oh my God! Okay, one more
It was
time.
that good. It was wonderful. Oh yeah, I'll be back, and I'm gonna come back for probably on the first Sunday when the adults sing.
Okay.
I want to hear the adults sing. Now the kids do good.
Okay.
The youth choir is great. It's
Yeah.
great. I would rather hear. I like old school. I like the
hymns.
I want the adult choir to sing.
Okay.
I ain't heard them sing yet.
Okay. When you
I'm
come
like,
on
yeah.
back.
The kids, you are the kids. Will someone tell his child he's a kid? Now the kids, they do good, but I want to see the adult singers. Yeah, because I like old stuff. I cannot tell you how many times I have watched this video, especially the camera. That's right, the camera. And they told me that they had it on the camera. On the what? On the camera. Oh, Lord. Well, you know what? I tell you, it doesn't take much to make me happy. The littlest things sometimes can just put a smile on my face, and this is one of them. So thank you, Jared, for your mishap with your tambourine and them catching it on the camera. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Raised by his grandmother. But how funny. The camera. The what? The camera. Okay, you guys. I'm going to go. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.